grab your journal and a pen or pencil. Okay, this lesson is called Divide Mixed Numbers. Okay, let's pretend that you have 2.5 divided by 3/4. Now, remember last time we did dividing fractions, and this is actually very simple, very similar. The only difference is we've got to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. Okay, and do you remember how to do that? You multiply the whole number by the denominator, and then you add the numerator. Okay, so we multiply the whole number by the denominator. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus the numerator 1 equals 5. That's our new numerator. Then our denominator stays the same as what it is, 5/2. Okay. Then you do the same thing. You multiply by the reciprocal times by 4/3. Okay, so we changed our mixed number into an improper fraction. Then we multiply by the reciprocal. So now we can go 5 times 4 equals 20. And 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay, now we need to change this now back into a mixed number. Okay, we've got to change it back into a mixed number. So how can we simplify this first of all? Well, we can divide, what can we divide each of these by? By 2. So let's divide them by 2. So 20 divided by 2 equals 10. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So now we have 10/3. So that makes it easier, right? Okay, how many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times, right? So we'll have 3 wholes. And then what do we have left over? If we have 10/3, okay, so we have 10/3. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9/3. How many do we have left of that? Then here's the 10th third, right? So how do you write this? 3 wholes and 1/3. And that's our answer. Okay? So, on the next piece of paper, what I want you to do is write 3 and 1/3 divided by 1 and 7/8. So, we've got to change these into improper fractions. Then multiply by the reciprocal. I want you to try to do it by yourself, okay? So pause me. Okay, let's do it. Are you ready? So we're going to change these into improper fractions. So you multiply the whole number times by the denominator, add the numerator. 3 times 3 equals 9, plus 1 more equals 10. And then you keep the same denominator. Multiply by the reciprocal. We got to change that too, don't we? Okay, 1 times 8 is 8, plus 7 equals 15. So that's 15 over 8, right? But we've got to do the reciprocal. So we're going to do times by 8 over 15. Now we multiply. 10 times 8 equals 80. 3 times by 15, well, 3 times by 10 is 30. And 3 times by 5 is 15, 15, sorry. So 30 plus 15 equals 40. So we're over 45. Okay. Now we've got to simplify this thing. Okay. Are you ready for us to simplify this thing? All right. How are we going to do this? Well, 80 over 45. Okay. We know that we have a whole, right? Because we've got more than 45. So we've got 45 45ths. So we've got a whole. Now, we need to see how many we have left over. Okay. So we've got our whole. Now let's do 80 subtract 45. Okay, so 80 subtract 45. 0 take away 5 we can't do. Let's make that 10. This 7. 10 take away 5 is 5. 7 take away 4 is 3. So we made a whole, and then when we did that, then we had 35 pieces left over. So 35 45ths. So we have 35 45ths. Now, can we simplify that even more? Yes, I just need to go over to my new page. So 1 and 35 over 45. So let's divide these by 5. So we get 1, and what's 35 divided by 5? 7. And what's 45 divided by 5? 9. Now, can we simplify that down anymore? No. So that's our answer. Okay? All right, let's try this one. Let's try 2 and 1/4 divided by 3/8. Pause me and try that by yourself. Okay, first thing we need to do is change this mixed number into an improper fraction. So we do the whole number times by the denominator. 2 times 4 equals 8, plus 1 more equals 9. We keep this denominator, 4ths, times by, multiply by the reciprocal, 8/3. Okay, now we multiply. 9 times by 8 equals 72. 4 times by 3 equals 12. Okay, now we need to simplify. Well, let's divide these numbers by 2. We know we can. Divided by 2, divided by 2. All right. 72 divided by 2. What's that gonna be? If you need to, go like this. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 3 times 2 equals 6. Bring it down. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 2 equals 12. Okay, so 6 over what's 12 divided by 2? Oh, no. It's not 6. 36. And then 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Okay. So now we've got 36 over 6, right? Well, what's 36 divided by 6? 6 times 6 is 36. So that's going to equal 6. Okay. All right. Let's just make sure we got that one right. 46. Number 7. Yep, we got it right. Okay. Now let's try this one. Let's try 1 1/2 divided by 1/5. Okay, pause me and try it by yourself. Okay, first thing we do, change this mixed number into an improper fraction. How do we do that? The whole number times by the denominator, add the numerator. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Keep the same denominator, halves. Multiply by the reciprocal, times by 5/1. Okay, here we go. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, can we divide this by anything the same? We can't, right? So we've just got to switch it into a mixed number. So we have 15 halves. Should we draw this out? Okay. Okay, we have 15 halves. So here's my whole, and then I broke them into halves. So we've got 15 of these. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so how many wholes do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wholes. All right, here. And then what? 1/2. Okay. So the answer is 7.5. Okay. Go grab your Math Basics book, or if you have just the worksheets, and find the one that says Divide Mixed Numbers. It is page 46. Okay, look at the top, the yellow box, right here. This is telling us exactly what we went over. So if you forgot and you need to look, this tells you exactly the steps. Okay, so the first step, rewrite any mixed numbers as improper fractions. So see how they did that there? And then what did they do? Wrote it as an improper fraction. Then they multiplied by the reciprocal. Yep. Then once they got their answer, then they simplified, okay? Now, so if you need to, you can look up there and that will help you, okay? Go ahead and do page 46 as your practice. Good job today.